The night settled over the house like a heavy blanket, thick and suffocating. Darkness seeped into every corner, swallowing the familiar shapes of furniture and turning hallways into endless voids. Outside, the wind howled a lonely, mournful song, clawing at the windows and making the curtains dance like restless ghosts. Each gust sent a shiver through the old house, too, and through the family huddled inside, their nerves already frayed from days of unanswered questions. The mysterious boxes, the strange keys. It all felt like a prelude to something terrible. Then, a sound. A faint, almost imperceptible noise from upstairs. It was a soft thump, followed by a creak. It came from the daughter's room. Every muscle in the father's body tensed. Fear exchanged a wide-eyed, fearful glance with his wife. Her hand flew to her mouth, stifling a gasp. Slowly, cautiously, he pushed himself up from the sofa. Each step he took up the stairs was a deliberate, silent battle against the creaking floorboards. His heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the oppressive silence. He reached her door, his hand trembling as he gripped the cold brass knob. He pushed the door open. The room was empty. An icy gust of wind rushed past him, billowing the curtains inwards. The window was wide open, gaping into the blackness of the night. His daughter was gone. Panic, cold and sharp, pierced his chest. His gaze darted around the room, searching for any sign, any clue. And then he saw it. Lying on the center of the pillow, where his daughter's head should have been, was the key. Next to it, a single sheet of paper. He snatched it up. It was a crude, hand-drawn map of their house. One area was marked with a large, aggressive red X, the old closet in the hallway. See, the one that had been locked and forgotten for years. He stumbled back downstairs, the paper clutched in his hand. His wife saw the look on his face and knew. The terror was real now. He showed her the paper. The key. She's gone, he choked out, the words feeling like shards of glass in his throat. But she left this, stared at the drawing, at the ominous red X. The closet. It made no sense. Why would she lead them there? Was it a trap? A cruel game orchestrated by whoever had been sending the keys? For a long moment, they were paralyzed by fear, their minds racing through horrifying possibilities. But the thought of their daughter, alone and in danger, was stronger than any fear. They had to know. The mother nodded, her face pale, but her eyes filled with a desperate resolve. "We have to open it," she whispered, her voice trembling but firm. "It's the only lead we have." Together, they walked to the end of the hallway, to the dust-covered door of the old closet. It had stood there for as long as they could remember, a silent, locked part of their home. The father's hands shook as he held the key. It felt impossibly heavy. He looked at his wife, who gave him a small, encouraging nod. He took a deep breath and inserted the key into the lock. The metal grated, the sound echoing loudly in the tense silence. He turned it slowly. A loud, metallic click reverberated through the hall. The lock was open. With his heart pounding in his ears, he pulled the handle. The door groaned open, its ancient hinges screaming in protest. The sound was agonizing, stretching time into an eternity. He peered into the darkness within, his breath catching in his throat, bracing himself for the worst. And then a small whimper. From the back of the closet, huddled amongst old coats and forgotten boxes, was their daughter. She was curled into a tiny ball, her face streaked with tears, but she was safe. She was unharmed. A wave of relief so powerful it almost buckled his knees washed over him. His wife cried out, a sound of pure, unadulterated joy, and rushed forward. They pulled their daughter into their arms, holding her tight, the three of them a tangle of limbs and relieved sobs. Later, Wrapped in blankets on the living room sofa, the story finally came out. The daughter, her voice still shaky, explained everything. She had an online friend who had started saying strange, unsettling things, making her feel scared and watched. She didn't know how to tell her parents, afraid they wouldn't believe her or would be angry. So, she devised a plan. The locked closet had always been her secret hiding place when she was little. It was her safe space. She sent the keys to herself, mailing them in boxes to her own home. It was a secret code, a practice run for an emergency. The drawing was the final part of her planner map to lead them to her if she ever truly needed to hide. The sounds they heard, the open window, it was all her, setting the stage for her own disappearance to test if her plan would work. It wasn't a threat from the outside. It was a desperate, elaborate cry for help from within. The fear and tension that had choked the house for days finally dissipated, replaced by a quiet understanding. The atmosphere softened. The shadows no longer seemed menacing. Gentle music began to play, a melody of comfort and reunion. The family sat together, closer than ever, the shared ordeal having forged a new, unbreakable bond. Odds on the coffee table. The key and the hand-drawn map lay still. They were no longer symbols of a terrifying mystery, but relics of a daughter's fear and a family's love. They were a reminder that sometimes the greatest dangers are the ones we can't see. And the most important secrets are the ones hidden right in our own homes. The screen fades, leaving one final thought hanging in the air. The end. But some secrets always remain in the shadows. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed our story, please like, share, and subscribe for more.